The courtroom was silent until the sound broke it. Sharp, final, impossible to ignore. Meri let the folder fall. It hit the floor with a dull thud, spilling documents across the polished wood. DNA reports. Hospital records. Paperwork that had the power to collapse everything Kody and Robyn had built their lives upon. The judge looked down, stunned. No one in the room had anticipated what was about to happen. You may have thought Kody and Robyn were hiding a secret big enough to survive anything. You weren't ready for what Meri had just released. And the truth coming next? It was far uglier than anyone imagined. Meri had arrived alone. No camera crew.
No muck-up.
No forced smile. Her heels echoed through the courthouse hallway like a warning shot. Each step was deliberate. Her jaw was clenched, eyes fixed forward. In her hand was a single manila folder, creased and worn, opened and closed so many times it looked tired. Whatever was inside had been carried for years, and now it was done hiding. Kody arrived 10 minutes later, relaxed, smiling, his coat slung casually over his shoulder as if this were just another press moment. Robyn clung to his arm. Together, they carried the confidence of people who still believed they controlled the narrative. But the story no longer belonged to them. Christine and Janelle sat quietly in the back row, not allies, not enemies, just survivors of a family that had long since turned into a battlefield. When the judge entered, everyone rose. This wasn't just a custody hearing. It wasn't about money or boundaries. What was about to unfold cut far deeper. Meri turned slowly toward the bench, then toward Kody and Robyn. Her voice was steady, cold, precise. Your Honor, I believe, on reasonable grounds, that legal papers filed in 2014 for Dayton's adoption were forged under oath. I am formally requesting an investigation into potential paternity fraud and approval for a court-ordered DNA test. The room reacted instantly. Gasps rippled through the gallery. Even the bailiff raised an eyebrow. Kody shifted in his seat. Robyn's hand flew to her chest as if to physically brace herself. The judge leaned forward. Mrs. Brown, he said, do you have evidence to support this motion? Meri lifted the folder and placed it gently on the bench. Everything I say today is supported by communication logs, witness statements, and hospital records. Kody finally spoke, his voice sharp with anger. This is revenge. She's bitter.
She's trying to destroy this family.
Meri didn't blink. You did that yourself. The judge warned them both. One more outburst, and the room would be cleared. Robyn was already crying, whispering urgently to her attorney. Christine leaned closer to Janelle. Did you know? She whispered. Janelle shook her head.
No.
But I'm not surprised. A recess was called. Copies of the documents were distributed. The tension was suffocating. In the hallway, Meri stood beside a vending machine, silent. Christine approached her. You're really doing this, Christine said. They've lied for years. Meri replied quietly. You know it. I know it. But what if it destroys everything? It already did. We're just the only ones finally admitting it. When court resumed, the judge's voice was colder than before. He had reviewed the material. There was enough preliminary evidence to proceed. Meri took the stand and described the day in 2014 when Robyn came to her in tears, panicked, desperate. Robyn had begged for her support in the adoption to make the family appear legitimate, especially financially. Meri had agreed at the time, but inconsistencies followed. Hospital forms with incorrect dates. Medical bills under another man's name. When Meri questioned it, she was told to stop asking. The defense asked why she waited nearly a decade to speak up. Because I'm not afraid anymore, Meri said. And because what they did may be a crime. Then Robyn took the stand. Her hands trembled. She claimed everything had been done correctly. That Meri was jealous. But then the attorney introduced text messages, sent months before the adoption.
Not to Kody.
To a man named Joel. Who is Joel? The attorney asked. An old friend, Robyn replied. Was he present at the hospital when Dayton was born? A long pause. Yes. Kody straightened, confusion washing over his face. Robyn tried to explain it away. She was afraid. Kody wasn't there. The judge ordered a recess and, moments later, a DNA test. The next morning, the courtroom felt colder. Robyn entered alone. No Kody, no lawyer beside her. Her eyes were swollen. Her hands clutched her cardigan, as if it were the only thing holding her upright. Meri stood across the room, already looking like someone who knew how this would end. Robyn's attorney requested the DNA results be delayed. The judge denied the motion. "This is no longer a hearing," he said. "It's a reckoning." On the stand again, Robyn whispered that she loved her son, that nothing else should matter. "But truth does," the attorney replied. Under oath, Robyn admitted she had omitted details. That Kody wasn't present at the birth. That Joel might have been the biological father. "I don't know," she said, breaking. Kody arrived late, just in time to hear it. He froze. Rage, betrayal, disbelief twisted across his face. The judge ordered him to sit. He refused. "You told me I was the father," he shouted. The judge warned him again. Then the sealed envelope was opened. On the record, the judge said, "The DNA report confirms that Mr. Kody Brown is not the biological father." The room collapsed into silence. Robyn covered her face. Kody stared ahead, empty. Christine and Janelle held hands. Meri didn't smile. Truth, even when you're right, never feels like victory. A nurse testified next, Carla Emerson. She had been present at the birth. "Who was listed as the father?" the attorney asked.
"Joel," she said.
The judge leaned back, absorbing it all.
Fraud.
Misrepresentation. A family built on a lie. And as the courtroom sat frozen in the aftermath, one truth remained unmistakable. Sometimes it isn't the lie that destroys a family. It's the moment the truth finally refuses to stay buried. The judge leaned forward, his voice steady but heavy with judgment. "If you knew Kody was not the biological father, why did you proceed with the adoption?" Robyn looked up at him. Her mascara had run in dark streaks down her cheeks. Her lips trembled, and when she spoke, her voice barely held together. "Because I was afraid he'd leave." The courtroom absorbed the words like a body absorbing a wound. Fear, when left unchecked, warps love until it no longer looks like love at all. It turns families into performances, loyalty into leverage, and trust into a bargaining chip no one ever truly wins. The judge nodded once. Court is adjourned. Meri stood first. She didn't look at anyone as she walked out. No vindication, no bitterness, just finality. Christine followed moments later. As she passed Robyn, her hand rested briefly on her shoulder. Not forgiveness. Not accusation. Just acknowledgement. Outside, courthouse porters held the doors. Kody pushed past them, jaw tight, eyes hollow.
No cameras. No statements.
Only silence. Robyn remained in her car long after everyone else had gone, sitting motionless, staring at nothing. The verdict wasn't criminal. But the damage had already been done. And what came next was no longer Meri's decision. It was Christine's. Because she had a folder of her own. And that morning, she had informed her lawyer that she was willing to take the stand. The courthouse felt different the next day. Quieter. Heavier. As if everyone had already been drained of outrage, yet something darker still loomed. Christine entered carrying a dark green folder clutched tightly in her hand. She wasn't shaking the way Robyn had. She was composed, almost unnervingly so. Her hair was pulled into a neat ponytail. Her steps were quiet, deliberate. The gallery turned as one to watch her pass. They could feel it. Whatever was inside that folder was about to change everything again. Kody sat at the defense table, arms folded, eyes bloodshot. He hadn't spoken to Robyn since the DNA results. Robyn sat beside him now, pale and rigid, like someone trapped inside a story she no longer controlled. Meri sat across the aisle, hands clasped together. She didn't look angry. She looked exhausted, like someone who had witnessed too much truth in one lifetime. The judge called the room to order. "We are resuming proceedings in Case 45B, Brown versus Brown. Mrs. Christine Brown, you're requested to testify under oath. You may proceed." Christine stood tall. "Your Honor," she said firmly, This is not about one adoption or one deception. This is about years of them. She opened the folder. I have documentation of financial transfers, medical claim submissions, and doctored marital records linked directly to Kody and Robyn. A gasp rippled through the courtroom. Even the court reporter paused mid-keystroke. Kody shot to his feet. "What do you think you're doing?" he demanded. Christine turned to face him, her eyes cold. "Something I should have done years ago." She looked back at the judge. If truth lies too long, it doesn't wake up gently. It wakes up screaming. She approached the stand and laid out the first document, a medical insurance claim from 2014, the year of the adoption. "The claim is in Robyn's name," Christine explained, "but it was paid through my account. I was told it was for a routine checkup." She paused. It wasn't. It was prenatal. And the father listed wasn't Kody. The room erupted again. Kody slammed his hand on the table. "That's enough. You're twisting everything." "Order," the judge barked. Christine didn't blink. "You made me sign it, Kody. You told me it was for the protection of the family. You said it would keep the network quiet. I didn't know I was helping cover up a lie." Robyn's tears returned, silent at first, then uncontrollable. "You promised you'd never say that," she whispered. Christine met her gaze, eyes wet but steady. "And you promised we'd never lie to the court." The judge leaned forward. "Mrs. Brown, are you alleging a coordinated effort to falsify documents?" "Yes, Your Honor," Christine replied without hesitation. "And I am prepared to testify that both Kody and Robyn knowingly misrepresented information for financial and legal benefit." The murmurs grew louder. Bailiffs shifted uneasily. Kody erupted. "You're doing this out of revenge. You left the family." Christine's voice shook, but it did not break. "You didn't build a family, Kody. You built a stage. And we were all forced to play parts." Meri nodded once. Just once. The attorney approached with another file. "This includes bank statements from the joint account used for adoption-related expenses. Can you explain a $40,000 transfer made 2 weeks ago?" Christine inhaled sharply. "That wasn't legal fees. It was hush money, paid to a clinic employee in exchange for destroying original documents." The judge's pen froze mid-note. The room felt heavier, thicker, like the air itself was pressing inward. Kody went pale. Robyn covered her mouth, shaking. Then the court clerk burst through the door, breathless, holding an envelope. "Your Honor, new evidence was submitted this morning. Confidential. From the lab." The judge frowned. "The lab? DNA sequencing. Secondary test." Christine frowned. "A second test? On whom?" The judge opened the envelope. His expression changed instantly. "Mrs. Christine Brown," he said slowly, "did you authorize a DNA test on your own child?" The room went dead silent. Christine's breath hitched.
What?
"No, I didn't." The document was passed to her. "Anonymous submission," the judge continued. "But it includes your name, your son's, and Mr. Kody Brown's." Kody whipped toward her. "What is this?" Christine read. Her face drained of color. "Sample comparison, exclusion confirmed," she whispered. "Mr. Kody Brown is not the biological father." The room exploded. Christine's knees nearly buckled. A bailiff moved forward instinctively. Kody stared, stunned. Robyn sat frozen, barely breathing. The judge slammed the gavel 3 times. "Order." But the damage was done. This wasn't an accident. Someone had submitted that test deliberately. And whoever it was had just detonated a second secret, one no one had prepared for. Thunder cracked outside as the judge ordered a closed session. Walls seemed to pulse with pressure. Kody paced wildly, insisting it was a mistake. But everyone knew. In the private holding room, Kody finally snapped. "This is sabotage," he snarled at Christine. "You did this to humiliate me."
Christine didn't flinch.
"I didn't submit anything." Robyn suddenly stood, eyes wide with fear. "Wait," she whispered. "There is one man who knew how to access our family records." Kody turned slowly toward her. "One man who hated what we were doing." Her voice dropped. And who warned me years ago that lies like ours never stay buried. The room fell silent again, because for the first time since this nightmare began, everyone realized the truth wasn't finished with them yet. Please like this video and hit that subscribe button. Then, slowly, Kody's expression begins to collapse. Not all at once, but in stages. Shock gives way to denial, denial to dread. Sometimes the specters we try to bar from the courtroom find their way inside anyway. And when they do, there is no stopping what they unleash. Robyn exhales softly, almost a whisper. Aurora. Kody stumbles backward as if struck. His head shakes violently.
No. No.
She wouldn't. She wanted answers, Robyn blurts, her voice breaking under the weight of confession. She never accepted your explanation. She kept asking why the paperwork didn't add up, why there were gaps. Christine's voice cracks, sharp and aching. She's smart. She did what none of us had the courage to do. Silence crashes down.
Thick.
Suffocating. Then the bailiff calls them forward. The courtroom doors close, sealed from the outside world. No audience.
No cameras.
Just truth and consequence. The judge sits with the authenticated DNA request in his hands. I required the laboratory to verify the identity of the requester, he states evenly. The test was submitted through the official portal using Aurora Brown's access credentials. Kody slumps into his chair. The fight drains out of him completely. Christine closes her eyes. Robyn breaks into raw, anguished sobs, the kind that don't seek sympathy. The judge continues. While the legality of this submission is questionable, the result is not. Mr. Brown, you are not the biological father of Christine's son. Given the chain of custody and testing dates, manipulation is impossible. Kody begins to shake, physically shaking. His hands clamp around the bench, so tightly, the wood creaks. I raised him, he snarls, voice shredded. I gave him my name. I changed his diapers. I sat up every night. He was sick. And now you're telling me I'm not his father? He looks around the room, desperate, furious. You think that's fair? You think that's family? Sometimes the fall doesn't come from the lies we tell others, but from the stories we tell ourselves. And Kody told himself he was unbreakable. The gavel slams. Mr. Brown, control yourself. But Kody is unraveling now. He whirls on Christine.
Who is it? He demands.
Tell me who it is. Christine stands slowly. Her eyes shine with tears, but her voice is calm. I don't know. You're lying. No, she replies softly. At the time, I didn't know. And you were the one who told me to stay quiet, to protect the brand.
The show.
The family. Kody stares at her, anger bleeding into confusion. You made me believe he was mine for 15 years. I made myself believe it too. Across the room, Meri finally speaks. This is what happens when control replaces truth. Every head turns. We didn't break today, Meri continues, her voice weary but unyielding. We broke years ago. Today was just when the pieces finally hit the floor. The judge exhales deeply. Criminal charges are now being considered against Kody and Robyn Brown for potential fraud, perjury, and obstruction related to the 2014 adoption. Kody rises abruptly. This is over, he hisses. I'm done. The bailiff steps forward. Sir, you're being asked to remain. On what grounds? The bailiff hands over another file. An emergency guardianship application was submitted early this morning on behalf of the minor children still residing in the Brown household. Filed by Janelle Brown. Everything freezes. Christine gasps. Meri's hand flies to her mouth. Kody turns white. The judge scans the paperwork. You'll be staying, Mr. Brown. The doors open. Janelle enters. She isn't crying.
She isn't shaking.
She's dressed in black, her face carved from stone. I filed for emergency guardianship, she says calmly. And I'll tell you why. Kody's voice cracks. Not you too. I stayed silent for too long, Janelle replies. You taught us that silence was loyalty. But silence is just complicity with better manners. Kody collapses into his chair again, blinking rapidly, as if the room is spinning beyond his control. The judge orders her full statement entered at the next hearing. No one stands when session adjourns. Because this no longer feels like a court proceeding. It feels like a funeral. Not for a person, but for a legacy. The judge pauses, then makes one final announcement. One final testimony is scheduled for tomorrow. Submitted privately. Anonymous but verified. Christine stiffens. Janelle tenses. Meri whispers, "Who?" "We'll find out tomorrow," the judge replies. According to the statement, this witness claims to know the full truth behind every lie told by the Brown family. One last witness. One final testimony. The next day, the courtroom is quiet, but not tense. Sorrowful.
No cameras.
No audience. Just family. Kody sits alone. Robyn never arrives. Christine taps her fingers nervously. Janelle sits motionless. Meri never looks away from the door. The bailiff hands the judge a sealed envelope. It's confirmed, the judge announces. The final witness is ready. The door opens. A woman steps inside. Unexpected, unmistakable.
Erika Lam.
Former lead producer for Sister Wives. Gasps ripple through the room. She takes the stand, composed. "I was the field producer from 2010 to 2022, she begins. "I've seen footage that never aired. I've managed cover-ups. I've witnessed conversations that would have ended the show years earlier." She opens a binder, contracts, memos, transcripts. There is a signed amendment allowing certain realities to be withheld from the audience to preserve brand narrative. The judge raises an eyebrow. This was used to conceal paternity truths, financial misrepresentation, and adoption irregularities. Kody rises. That footage was never meant for court. And those children were never meant to be props. Erika responds coolly. The judge bangs the gavel. Erika continues. "I have video of Kody admitting in 2014 that he suspected he wasn't Dayton's father. I have footage of Robyn expressing fear that the truth would ruin their image. And I have emails offering hush payments to crew members." One email reads, "We can't survive another Meri situation. Spin it or the brand dies." The judge breathes deeply. Final rulings are delivered. Kody Brown, guilty of willful misrepresentation and obstruction. Robyn Brown, guilty of document falsification, subject to civil penalties. Christine Brown, granted immunity for cooperation. Janelle Brown, awarded temporary guardianship. Production company, formally acknowledged as complicit in concealment. The courtroom empties. No one speaks. 1 month later, the headlines fade. The show is canceled. Robyn moves out of state. Christine gains full custody. Janelle works at a nonprofit. Meri disappears from public life. Kody is last seen boarding a plane alone.
No statements. No appeals.
Just silence. And so the question falls to you. If you are the judge, did justice arrive too late? Or did it arrive exactly when it had to? Leave a comment. Because sometimes the most important verdict is the one we reach ourselves. The story begins in a hushed courtroom where Meri Brown detonates the first bombshell by submitting a manila folder containing DNA-related evidence, hospital records, and communication logs. Her accusation is staggering. The 2014 adoption of Dayton was allegedly based on forged documents and false testimony, possibly involving paternity fraud. Kody and Robyn arrive confident and composed, believing they still control the narrative, but the courtroom atmosphere quickly turns hostile. The judge demands proof, and Meri confirms everything is documented. Gasps ripple through the room as Kody accuses Meri of revenge, only for her to calmly respond that he destroyed the family himself long ago. As testimony unfolds, Meri explains how inconsistencies surrounding medical records and adoption paperwork raised her suspicions years earlier. She admits she remained silent out of fear and loyalty, but can no longer do so. The judge orders a court-approved DNA test. Robyn takes the stand next, initially denying wrongdoing, but collapses under pressure when text messages are introduced showing communication with another man, Joel, around the time of Dayton's birth. She eventually admits Kody was not present at the hospital and concedes she does not know who the biological father is. The DNA results confirm Kody is not Dayton's biological father, shattering his confidence and exposing the foundation of deception within the family. The case escalates when Christine Brown unexpectedly steps forward with her own evidence. She reveals financial records, medical insurance claims, and altered marital forms implicating both Kody and Robyn in years of coordinated misrepresentation for financial gain and brand protection. Christine admits she unknowingly paid for prenatal expenses and later discovered the father listed was not Kody. She accuses Kody of pressuring her to sign documents under the guise of protecting the family and keeping the television network quiet. The courtroom erupts as Christine alleges hush money payments to destroy original clinic records, supported by bank transfers and email evidence. A shocking new development follows when the court clerk presents a second DNA report, one submitted anonymously. The judge reveals it was filed using Aurora Brown's credentials. The results confirm Kody is also not the biological father of Christine's son. This revelation devastates Kody, who breaks down emotionally, insisting that fatherhood is defined by years of care, not DNA. Christine maintains she did not know the truth at the time and reveals Kody instructed her to stay silent for the sake of the family brand. Meri summarizes the moment bluntly. The family did not collapse today. It collapsed years ago, and the truth merely exposed the wreckage. Criminal implications intensify as the judge announces potential charges against Kody and Robyn for fraud, perjury, and obstruction related to the adoption case. Before Kody can leave, another stunning twist emerges. Janelle Brown files for emergency guardianship of the minor children still living in the household. Calm and resolute, Janelle states she remained silent for years under the belief that silence equaled loyalty, but now understands it was complicity. The courtroom atmosphere shifts from confrontation to something resembling a funeral for the legacy Kody built and controlled. The final phase of the case arrives with an anonymous last witness, later revealed to be Erica Lang, a former lead producer from the Sister Wives television show. Under oath, Erica testifies that the production company actively concealed critical truths to preserve the show's image. She presents internal contracts, emails, and unaired footage showing Kody admitting doubts about paternity as early as 2014, Robyn expressing fear that the truth would damage their public image, and attempts to silence crew members through financial buyouts. Erica's testimony confirms the family's lies were not only personal but professionally enabled and broadcast as reality television. In the final rulings, the judge determines Kody is guilty of willful misrepresentation and obstruction, though not formally charged with paternity fraud due to technicalities. Robyn is found guilty of falsifying documents and faces civil penalties, with criminal charges still under consideration. Christine is granted immunity due to full cooperation, though her custody arrangements are reassessed separately. Janelle is awarded temporary guardianship of her children, and the court formally acknowledges the production company's role in concealing material facts that affected legal proceedings. The aftermath unfolds quietly. The television show is cancelled. Robyn relocates out of state. Christine ultimately gains full custody after Kody refuses mediation. Janelle begins working with a nonprofit. Meri withdraws completely from public life. Kody is last seen boarding a plane alone, no statements, no appeals, no defense. The saga ends not with celebration, but with reflection, a family undone not by cameras or courts, but by years of choosing control over truth. The final question is left to the audience, whether justice arrived too late, or exactly when it was inevitable. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button and join our YouTube family. Thank you for your support. New videos are coming very soon.